So far we have created our grid, and we have also drawn our snake head on the grid, and the snake can also move. So in this video we are going to be focusing on creating the food and making sure the food is eaten when the snake is above the food, and also we will generate a random food in this grid, and we'll also try to implement the snake grow function. So let's get started. Okay, so first of all we need to store our snake position in a variable. So let's just create a variable called food pus, and we'll for now let's just set it a random number between 0 to 400. Okay, also let's just make this from 1 to 400 so that it can also generate a random number between 1, and let's just say 399 here. Okay, so we now will create a function called generate food, and we need to generate a random number between 1 to 400. So we'll say, wait a minute, okay, we have to make this actually 401. Okay, now it's better. So we'll say math dot floor, because the random function generates a point value as well. So we'll say math dot random multiplied by 400, so that can generate a number between 1 to 400. So that will generate our number, and what we'll do is we'll get, let's say food is document dot get element by id, add the random num, and we'll add a class list of food, class list dot add a class list of food. And when we call this function generate food, also let's create a function called eat food, and if the snake position is equal to the food position, for now let's just console log eaten. Okay, and we can check this function every time we make a move. And okay, yeah, and after the food has been eaten, we will generate the food. Generate food, and what we'll do is we will remove the class list at here so that the new food can be generated. Let's say food, it's not referencing, so let's say document dot get element by id at food position dot class list. Let's use the toggle property, the toggle method, and we'll toggle the class list of food so that it get removed. Okay, so let's just call our eat food function every time we make a move here. So let's say eat food, sorry, not eat food, yeah, eat food. Okay, nice. Generate our food. Okay, that's fixed now. Okay, we declared it before we define the function. Okay, and also we need to define the class list of food dot food. It's going to be similar. It's going to have a background of, let's say, green. Okay, so we'll see. So we have generated so many foods. So okay, it's acting a bit weird. Okay, we have probably run it more than once, I guess. Let me see. Okay, so let's update our food position also. After we eat the food, we generate the food. So the new food position is going to be equal to the random number. All right. And here I think we have to actually, we have to add the food. And here we have to, let's say remove, and we generate the food. Okay, we are not removing in here. So if it's done, we're gonna say document.get remove the class of the food and generate the food. Okay, I think it should do it. So let's see. It's not creating at first. Let's just call the function at here, generate food. Okay, we can see our food has been generated and it's working. The food, we can see we can eat the food. Okay, it's a bit not too polished right now, but we can fix it. Okay, so let's try to focusing on growing the snake and also creating the snake body. What if I call this function after this? Let's see what happens. Okay, it's much better than that. Now we will try to create the body of the snake itself, which is the most difficult part of the whole series actually. We must find a way to store the old position of the snake head so that it maintains the correct positions, and it also does not grow from a fixed size, so that it doesn't keeps on adding the snake positions and it becomes a very long snake, which is not right. Okay, so the snake will only grow if it eats the food. And let's try to create a class first of all. We're going to create a queue to achieve this functionality, because a queue is of a fixed size, and when a new item enters a queue, the old must be removed because the size is always fixed. So let's try creating it. Okay, so we'll create a class of queue, and this is gonna have a constructor with some properties. Let's say this dot size is gonna have size, which will come in as an argument, and this dot list is going to be an empty array so we can store items, and this dot add, so we can increase the size of the queue, size +1, let's say, and this dot push is going to be a function, and what it does, it adds this dot list dot push the I that we get. It's going to take a I as an argument, and if the list this dot list dot length is greater than the size, then what we're going to do is we're going to shift from the list array. So what does the shift method do? It removes the first element from an array. So we will say this dot list dot shift, and let's create some variables. Let q1 is equals to be a new q with size, let's say 3, and let's create okay, let's create, yeah, that's fine. Let's say q1 dot push. We're gonna push 1, and let's push 2 more items, 2, 3, let's push another 4, 5, and let's see what do we get. Okay, so we can see that we have a fixed size. We push the 1, 2, and 3 values, but it's not showing in here because it maintains the latest items and it maintains the size as well. When the size grew out of 3, it removed the old elements so that we can achieve the snake positions like this. So in the next video, we'll create the function so that our snake actually shows and we can grow the snake. So that's it.